You're listening to AI PRISM from Seoul Economic Daily.
Does this change our Korea operations strategy, our supply chain risk posture, or what I report to the board next quarter? It's Tuesday, June 16. Let's look at a business story shaping corporate Korea.
Right. Well, welcome to today's deep dive into the Seoul Economic Daily's reporting. We are here to help you navigate these structural market shifts.
Exactly. And today we are connecting two massive events, Samsung's AI pivot and the recent U.S.-Iran ceasefire. Understanding how those forces collide is critical for managing global supply chains and, for tracking impacts on the #CoSPI index.
So let's start with the Samsung Global Strategy Conference running today through the 18th. They are rolling out AX, which is AI transformation, and this is not some futuristic concept. Yeah, they made it a mandatory board-level operating objective for the second half of 2026.
The hard metrics driving this are astonishing. I mean, Samsung deployed 517 high-performance computing servers in a Seoul data center to create digital twins.
Right, those hyper-accurate virtual replicas.
Exactly. And this platform cut TV product validation time from 15 days down to just 2 days.
And, they achieved that dramatic drop without building a single physical prototype.
It is like test crashing cars exclusively in a video game just to save millions. But, why the aggressive mandate right now? They target fully autonomous global factories by 2030, but why the panic today?
The urgency comes down to margin defense. When energy costs hit extreme volatility, you have to find massive savings where you actually have control.
Because geopolitics are entirely out of your control.
Precisely. A 107-day U.S.-Iran conflict concluded with a June 14th ceasefire, which reopened the Strait of Hormuz. But corporate Korea treats that normalization as a baseline, not a guarantee of stability.
I get the volatility, but, U.S. crude exports to Korea jumped 43.1% recently. If Western oil flows are covering the gaps, why can't Korean operations just pivot away from the Middle East?
Because they are caught in a massive structural trap. Korea's legacy refinery infrastructure processed Middle Eastern heavy crude during its industrialization phase.
Oh, so it's a huge hardware mismatch.
Yeah, switching to U.S. light sweet crude requires billions of dollars in capital investment to retrofit equipment.
Wow. So it isn't just a simple procurement choice.
No. And unless there's an active blockade, Middle Eastern crude remains the absolute lowest cost option. That dynamic creates a powerful structural disincentive for refiners to actually spend the conversion capital.
They're just geographically locked in.
Exactly.
So looking at competitors, how do they handle that exact same 107-day geopolitical shock? I mean, look at China.
Right. China has a massive structural advantage here. They enforce a strict energy security policy, capping any single crude supplier at a 20% maximum.
A hard legal cap. And they pair that forced diversification with massive domestic energy scaling.
They really do. China doubled solar power generation to 366,010 gigawatt-hours.
Incredible.
At the same time, they hit record coal production at 4.83 billion tons. That two-pronged approach made China the strategic economic winner of this recent conflict.
So what does this mean for the executives listening? What is the actionable two-track agenda?
Multinationals benchmarking against Samsung must accelerate AI transformation because the productivity gap from digital twins is now the baseline cost structure. Simultaneously, the ceasefire does not fix Korea's refinery mismatch, meaning executives must fundamentally restructure energy procurement rather than returning to pre-conflict norms. The convergence of mandatory AI integration and supply chain restructuring forms the essential two-track strategy for any board overseeing Korea operations in 2026.
That perfectly frames the challenge, leaving you with this provocative thought to ponder: when a corporate giant rewrites its entire DNA through AI, what happens to the global partners who fail to keep up? That's today's AI PRISM, CEOs. This episode was produced with AI assistance based on Seoul Economic Daily reporting and reviewed by a human editor. AI PRISM is a WAN-IFRA award-winning series. We'll be back tomorrow.
You've been listening to AI PRISM from Seoul Economic Daily.